Hello everybody and welcome to another time of getting to hang out and do some drawings. Got a lot of stuff to work on as always, nothing has changed. And I've been up since 1:15 a.m. and a little tired. I went and hung out with my father-in-law for about an hour and a half this morning, and got some stuff I'm going to be doing here in the near future, basically re-renovating this room a little bit, not for anything too incredibly special, but I have been using some very small desk lamps for my lighting that you see on my face now, and I finally bit the bullet and made an investment that will take a little bit to pay back, but I do think it's going to be worthwhile. I'm going to be getting some large studio lights in, or soft boxes, which every streamer seems to have, and which I've known I've needed to get for the last several years, so finally bit the bullet now that there's a little bit more room to work with. So I will probably, in the next day or two, because this may be coming in as early as tomorrow, I will be reorganizing and sorting everything out around here to try and make this a little bit more prepped for it. So I might not have a stream tomorrow. I'm not going to guarantee a stream tomorrow just because of everything that may be going on in this room, either after the stream today or tomorrow. I also have a lot of products coming in that I will be reviewing and setting up. We're going to be hopefully upgrading our webcamming systems, so hopefully this camera will now become a what I would call a tabletop camera, and then my DSLR, maybe, if I can get it to work, may turn into my webcam, which is going to be a very unique situation. We're going to see how that pans out. I don't know how realistic that is just yet. I've invested in some technology that I hope will help, but I'm not certain. So tomorrow is probably going to be kind of a get things set up, rework this whole studio, rethink this complete space to kind of try and get this towards the direction I would like to see it go. No guarantees on that, but I have hopes. I have hopes. So, other than that, guys, excited for another stream today. Looking forward to hang out with you guys and get into this. Now, I'm also trying something a little different as well, and I'm not certain how well this is going to work because I've never dealt with this before, but we are implementing a loyalty system that I have no idea how it works, and you guys are going to help me along, but you guys basically earn loyalty points for how long you are here in the stream, as long as you're following me, and you also get points for following, subscribing, dropping bits, and all the little nooks and crannies of what make up Twitch and make it interesting and unique. So the longer you hang out with me, the more points you earn, the more rewards you would get. Say, I'll follow you on Twitter, or I'll follow you on Twitch or whatever. Maybe once you earn a certain amount of points, maybe I can answer your question in a YouTube video. Once you get a certain amount of points, I can push your Twitch channel or your YouTube channel. I don't know. It's all stuff that I'm slowly working on and developing, and I found this last night, and I took a lot of time to set it up, and I honestly have no idea how it works, and we're just going to find out together. But you may see a chest pop up from time to time on the video. Click that chest, and it will only be up for about 5 seconds. So when you see it, click on it, because that is your chance to gain some extra bonus points. Okay, and that will happen actually multiple times during the stream today. And that's, I think, about it. Usually I record between 2.5 to 3 hours. We'll see how long we go today, and if I can get myself motivated to work on this artwork. And once again, thank you to everyone who's watching on YouTube and has totally blown up my YouTube with brand new subscribers and just a whole bunch of crazy new, a whole bunch of new follows, and I think we're at 30 follows or 31 follows on here, and then of course on YouTube, the channel's blowing up. We're at 12,100 subscribers plus, as well as my video where I was talking about Clip Studio now being up to about 1,300 views, which it's been a very long time since my channel has seen that kind of a blowout of viewership on a video. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm very excited to continue working on that, and it all starts here, and we can just keep moving forward and keep creating this content. That's all we can do, and that's what I'm very excited to do with you guys. I think that's going to about do it for my little intro today. Let's see what we can do on the drawing side of things. I'm going to go ahead and hop into our drawing area here, and you can see we got 30 amazing followers over here. I'm used to going to like this one here and then pointing and saying how many we got. So once again, we have 15 days to go to get to 100 people, 100 followers to get that caricature giveaway. Would love for you guys to get into that. So if you have any friends or you're interested in getting that caricature, need you to get your friends in here and get some more followers. It'd be amazing. And then over here you can see that we are trying to reach $160 with 15 days to go to earn that, to also get a chance to win a caricature. So you guys are really helping me and supporting me by donating to the cause, and then at the same time, that gets us closer to our goal. Now, I will mention one more thing. The points that you are getting, they actually allowed me to name the points that you guys are getting for your rewards, and I decided to call them broken pencil leads. So as you guys earn these rewards, you're actually earning broken pencil leads, which I think is kind of fun. I came up with that on the fly, and I kind of really like that, so... Anyway, there we go. Hop back over to here, and let's go ahead and get our day started. Don't forget, get involved in the chat. The chat shows up right below me, right down here, and it's really fun to read your comments and things. And, of course, chats from both YouTube and from Twitch all come in down here. So come on in, let's have a good time, and I think it's time for me to work on a little bit of a warm-up. And just kind of get myself into gear and get ready for another excellent day of working on artwork. So let me quickly move some stuff around here in Clip Studio. Let's see. All right, I just need to warm up a little bit, so I'll probably do a Mr. Lee drawing and just kind of see if I can come up with something kind of fun for Mr. Lee today. That's a tough call. I always just start with his face and then try to become inspired after that. And don't forget, guys, that I also am trying to do a couple more challenges during the stream. So one of the things I'm going to be doing a little bit later on, maybe in the next hour, hour and a half, is that I will be posting a mention on Twitter. And if you guys go and respond back to that Twitter, basically the question will be, what should I draw? And then I'm supposed to try and draw that in 10 minutes. Which yesterday was kind of a flop, but it was still fun and a good learning experience. So we're going to do it again and just keep doing it until I just can't live with myself anymore. So, all right, so let's go ahead and see about what we can do with Mr. Lee today. I'm also trying to come up with a drawing for Zoe. You guys may remember my comic series No Clue, and it's something I haven't done in quite some time, and the characters have undergone just so many different changes over the years as I started developing them. And Lee, Mr. Lee is actually me, of course, and Zoe Mackenzie is my wife. Now, I've kind of recreated Lee, and I really like his new character, mainly because my wife walked in one day and saw how cute they were, and kind of small and chibi-ish, and she thought that was just the most adorable thing, so it's just kind of stuck. And then on top of that, I want to try and develop one for her. My issue that I find with hers, if I try to draw her, is that she has this humongous chin. Like on this character here, it makes sense because there's a super perfect beard that goes along with this that matches it very, very well and covers up all this extra chin area. But if I try to draw my wife in the same kind of style that I used to draw her in the old comic when she was Zoe Mackenzie, I draw this cute little nose, and she's always had the cute little nose, and then the eyes, and then of course I made the eyes with the little extra thing here, so it's kind of like eyelashes. Always made her eyebrows nice and high and kind of just U-shaped, and I'd always put the mouth pretty close up here. But then just look at all this chin space. The chin space is just awkward. And so trying to figure out how to make that work for her character is a little difficult. And she's also changed up her hair. You guys might remember my wife used to have a haircut kind of like this and would come around this way as well. Kind of just like an A-line sort of thing. And I might end up sticking with that just because it's easy to draw. But her haircut now is much more like a ponytail, and when I draw that, it doesn't frame the face up at all. It just makes this cartoony character look really big and thick, and that's not... I know that's not what my wife would want, and certainly not what I want for it either. So, anyway, I'm thinking that it might just come down to be going back to the original hairstyle, the original A-line hairstyle, as my wife would call it. Not that I have any idea of what that actually means, but that's what she called it anyway. And something kind of like that. And then how it works in with the chin, I'm not so sure. Because that just still looks really thick. And that's not what my wife's face would look like per se. Mine kind of sort of has a likeness of me in a way, you know, when you got my mustache, my beard, my hair. I mean, obviously I don't have a button nose or a big freaky nose like I've always drawn on Mr. Lee, and in the same way my wife is not that same form either, so it's very difficult to get a likeness in my wife in this style, but at the same time it's mainly because I'm still trying to find a way to draw this easily. I want her to be an easy draw as well. So I can do my whole face in like a square shape. And it works really well because it's just simplified. So nose, eyes, big eyebrows, and mouth, mustache. You know, there's a formula that I can follow that works every single time. And I can get this to look right every single time. You know, so you can kind of see that, and I always draw my little U up here, and this way, this way, and then some ears. So you can see the character in that, and it's really easy to create. For her, though, I can't do that. So here's the square, same idea, always separate it down the middle. Here's the nose, which is going to be smaller and kind of button. Here's the eyes, fun little thing there, so eyebrows. And then the mouth, which I always kind of do this V thing, because that's kind of how her smile is. And then when we get to this point, now I got to figure out there's a chin, but it's not really a chin, so I might have to carve this down. And this suddenly brings us into a moment of uncertainty, and uncertainty slows down my drawing. And then if I'm going to draw her with her ponytail, which she does more of a dirty bun these days, then the hair is going to go up like this and come down here, kind of. Ears are going to go somewhere around here, and then the bun it's just going to go somewhere over here. And it just doesn't... She looks cute with it in real life, but the cartoon character, it don't cut it. It don't cut it. It just doesn't look right. It looks like an old woman, and that's not my intention for this. Me, I'm in my 30s. I'm going to start looking older no matter what I do. Her, I want to keep her the fun, youthful character that she's always been in all of my cartoons. So I might try and develop her out here real quick for a few minutes and see if we can come up with something. So I always start with this shape, because that's just the shape that all my characters and even my caricatures start out as. And I know I need that. And the mouth, I can change up the mouth if I really want to, because she does have a slightly larger bottom lip than her top lip, so I always try to exaggerate that out slightly. And then if I was really to draw her as her, then I would still do these eyebrows. And then I would do something like this, and here right to the bottom of the mouth, and then a little bit of a chin. She doesn't like her chin, but I think her chin's cute. So something kind of more like that to get the expression. But you see all this extra I'm cutting off the bottom here, which is a bit unfortunate, because if I decide to draw her big head, little body kind of thing, for me, when I draw my character, I draw this big nose and stuff, and the mouth, and the chin is already right here on this line. Which means that if I want to build the body off of it, which I usually do, I can go like this and, you know, build the character off of this. And it totally works. For her, if I do that, she's going to be long neck, giraffe kind of look by accident. Not the goal that I'm trying to get to here at all. So, anyway, I'm just causing more confusion while trying to warm up. Let's go ahead and drop the opacity and bring over my mini keyboard and drop the... Oh, there we go. Excuse me. Like I said, I've been up since 1 a.m., so that would be the reason why I might be yawning just a little bit. Okay. So, maybe we not do the face that in the center. Maybe we drop it down a little bit. So we use the math that we're grabbing here to go down lower. Where on earth is my mouse? There it is. I'm trying to turn up the music in my ears a little bit, because right now it sounds like singers are whispering in my ears. I need a little bit more noise than that. There we go. Okay, so the next theory would be then that we would drop the face down. So let's see what would happen if maybe we put her eyebrows or her eyes on this line, and which I think I kind of already do when I draw a face. Let me see what happens if I draw Mr. Lee really quick. I'll draw the nose here, and then I draw the eyes right above because the eyes are just so close to the nose in my design. So really, maybe the eyebrows should go up here. So what if I drop the nose down to about here on Zoe Mackenzie, and we draw in her nose here, and the eyes here, and then let's go ahead and put in the eyebrows kind of way up above, kind of like that. Now I can focus on the mouth. It looks a little awkward. It looks kind of youthful, which that is kind of a thing. If you're trying to draw a kid, that's what you're going to do. You're going to draw the nose and the eyes incredibly close together. You're going to push the chin up into the bottom of the mouth, and you're going to raise up the forehead, and you're going to give the kid a really big forehead. That brings youth into a caricature. That's actually your face. Your face kind of grows upward into your forehead. It's a weird thing, but it's kind of true. And so if I draw someone in this perspective, they're probably going to look a bit more youthful. Could work for my wife. I'm not sure. We got to mess around and see what will actually happen a little bit more here. So I do think that this does help because it does get her face just a little bit closer to the bottom of this chin. But once again, if I start shaping out her head, I do think that she needs a different haircut than the bun thing. I don't think that that's really going to be a very good look for her, at least in my character here. So going back to the A-line is probably the better bet. In saying that, I've thinned her face out, which I don't know if I really want to do, but let me go ahead and try her A-line cut again, which just kind of comes in like this. And then this one can come around here and go this way. She also looks really cute when she does like curls. Not like I don't like when she got a perm once, and I was kind of like, oh my goodness, we're going back to the 70s. I like when she does. I have to call them dirty curls. Uncontrolled curls would be kind of a good way to explain it. That always looks really cute when she does that, which she doesn't do that as often. More recently, she's been straightening out her hair. So. See, that kind of works. It pushes the lips way down towards the chin, which does balance it out a little bit, but I do feel like she's got a lot of head space going on, so that's a little awkward too. Actually, it's really awkward, so maybe the hair needs to come down a bit further as well. So anyway, that's all stuff I'm trying to develop, because I am enjoying working with Mr. Lee and having him be that fun little small character that I've been developing out in all the pieces that you're seeing pop up here, as well as using him as all my logo type stuff for like Legacy Studio reviews and all the different channels I've been working on. So having that kind of small cartoony theory is a really, really cute form that I really want to also get her in, so it's not just me. It'd be really fun to have her involved in those sketches as well. I think I'll do one or two more, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started on artwork here. Nope, don't need to be listening to Nicki Minaj. It'd be boring. I Know You Want Me from Pitbull. Woohoo! Okay. Okay, that works. Once again, that's just a really big chin, though, which I don't like at all. So let me see if I can kind of tighten it up a little. So her character apparently is going to take a little bit of extra structuring, which is really unfortunate because I like using the full shape. If I'm going to draw the shape there, I want to fill the shape there. So when it comes down to that, maybe if I backtrack just a little bit, let me see what happens if I fill up the shape. Good thing that Clip Studio goes back that far. Okay, so I'm going to make the nose a bit bigger. Okay. I need to not be afraid to make the nose a little bigger, and the eyes. Just trying to think about utilizing the whole form. And the thing I do realize is that when I started drawing the Mr. Lee character, I knew it instantly would thicken me up because of how big that head is. If I show you, let me see if I have an illustration like this here. That's a much thicker face than I usually draw Mr. Lee as. But it totally works. It works for the character, and it even works for me. It does look like me. And of course, I gotta play careful with my wife's face, because I want her to like this as much as I do. That kind of works, and it stays within that shape for the most part, other than very, very gently squeezing it in just by a very small margin, which I'm leaning towards being a little bit more careful in that. Let's see. I admit I'm actually looking at going to my wife's Facebook to see if I find any pictures of her hair that I can utilize for this, which she takes a lot of pictures of herself, which I love, so there's always enough to go around for getting a decent likeness of her hair and of her face. I'm just not used to drawing her with a lot of hair. But she has it now, so, which I do like, but I also like her with short hair, and I tell her that a lot. I'm not telling her that she needs to get a haircut or anything, but when she asks my opinion, I always say I do like your hair, you know, short. See, it just looks way too flat. It looks kind of gross. Looks good on my wife, does not look good on her cartoon. Let me undo all this, and while I'm undoing this, I'm going to look for other options. Lots of pictures of me and her stuff. Let's see, which I'm kind of okay with too. I'm glad she loves me. How about that? Let me go to Mandy. And let's see if I find any other stuff. She's also been pinning up the front of her hair in kind of a cute way more recently, too. I kind of like that, too. The other thing I thought about was actually giving her sunglasses, too. I think sunglasses will kind of add to this as well. Don't forget, guys, would love to have you as part of the chat if you can log into either your YouTube or your Twitch, especially your Twitch, because I want to get your follow on here, of course, as well. Would love to have you in the chat room because I get bored talking to myself and it makes me want to leave earlier. So if you want me to stick around, get in the chat right now and come and chat with me and help me fill up my day with you and with us having fun together. And when I can have conversations and answer questions and have a good time, then it makes me want to stay longer. On the quiet days, I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? No one's talking. We're scooting. We're done for the day, you know? Which those days are cool, too, when that happens, and I don't think anyone seems to mind, but I like having people close. That's your job. My job is to keep you entertained. Your job is to talk to me. Okay, so the sunglasses kind of help. The sunglasses do kind of help just a little bit, and my wife is so much cuter than this, but, I mean, this could work. So when I feel like I might have a concept that's somewhat reasonable, I'll do it from different angles just to check it out and make sure I feel good about it all the way around. Okay. All right. And don't forget, if you're a Twitch follower, you're also supposed to be getting those rewards for spending time in the feed with me. So get those earnings up so that I can follow you on your channels and do all that sort of stuff. All right, that just looks really, really awkward because I'm doing nothing to properly build the face. That's a miserable attempt. Okay, anyway, I really need to get started on actually doing commissions because it is noon and I haven't even gotten started on a real commission just yet. Just dripping down my beard like crazy. Yeah, and it's flat. Man, ugh, flat. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get a new soda so I can come at this nice and fresh, and we're going to get some real artwork going here. I'll be right back. Don't worry about the countdown. It's not going to be 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so window's nice and open so I can enjoy some sun. Beautiful day outside today with some little bit of clouds. And yeah, now we can kind of just get started. Let me quickly adjust my camera settings a little bit. Maybe even open up this window. Get a little bit of light in here. And of course, as of tomorrow or day after tomorrow, hopefully lighting will be a little bit better. Let's see. Day after tomorrow, excuse me. Sorry. For some reason, I thought today was Wednesday. Which it ain't. It ain't. Okay. So, adjusting the camera settings. Web camera. Configure video. Turn that off, which is going to make me look blue. And then we need to boost up the exposure. And turn off low light compensation. I think that will do just fine, don't you? I think so. Thank you for your opinion. Okay. Hey Tim, I'm going to do some changes to your overlay. The black is too much. I think I'll add some silver. Okay, whatever you want to do, man. Make it so. Alrighty. I really need to kind of feel like I'm getting into the flow of something, and I haven't drawn anything that's getting me in that feeling like I'm actually going to get anything done today in a good way. So I'm going to try and do some quick symmetrical stuff, because symmetry usually kind of begins to get me just a little bit inspired. I need a little bit of inspiration to make me get somewhere. Thank you very much, Cody Young, for subscribing. Sorry, I'm kind of going off this whole Beast from Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. It's kind of the starting concept I had, and it's just kind of erupting into some weird looking dog. Just looks awkward, man. Kind of awkward. Yeah, it's just weird looking. I love drawing in symmetry when it works. Okay. Alright. Well, I am not feeling inspiration today, so I'm just going to have to go ahead and get right into it. Which kind of stinks, because you really don't know what's going to happen when you go into a day like this. Yeesh. I don't like days like this. Alright. Here we go. We'll see what we can create today with that. Inspiration is a must, and if you're going to start a day of work in art, it really helps to do a piece or do even a small sketch or anything stupid just to really start to get your brain going, yeah, I can do this, I can handle this. Otherwise, you're just kind of jumping in cold turkey. And it just doesn't feel right. It feels raw, and not in a good way. It just kind of, it's kind of a blarg thing. I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like that shoulder. Grr. You know what, guys? I really don't want to do this yet. I'm forcing myself to start something that I really shouldn't start yet until I'm warmed up. So let's try this. I'm going to do something completely different that I haven't done on the stream yet. I've done a couple short videos of this, but I've never done one like this on the stream. So let's try something different. I'm going to go look up birds. Birds seem to be the things that that I can draw in a specific way that I can't draw other things. So I'm going to take this and we're going to try a bird. Let me go look up birds. Cute bird. Not Burke. Bird. See what kind of cute birds we get in here. That's a really cute bird. We're going to give that a shot. Okay, so basically what this kind of sketch is that makes it different than anything else I do is that I'm actually going to sketch in white instead of black, which is a little technique that I've done on a couple different pieces, and it really helps me loosen up and just kind of helps me find my inspiration. That's a bit too thick, and the kind of the goal for the line is to think in reverse. You're still trying to do a piece that really does focus on... Let's make sure that I'm okay with the lines, because I'm going to be doing a lot of shading and cross-hatching, and I want to make sure that I'm using something really, really small. Yeah, it looks like it'll work. Okay. Alright, so I got a cute little bird here, and we're going to give this a shot. So let's just go ahead and start with some preliminary lines just to kind of start building up the face here. And I will caricature it out as best I can, but it is going to be very much a shading thing. So it will be a goal to kind of get this accurate, because it's almost a realism kind of thing, but you'll see what I mean as I keep going here. Okay. Now the beak is right here, and there's a high point of light right on the beak, kind of like that. And then this kind of goes down this way. And then this one kind of goes down this way. Okay. And then there's a little bit of shading in here. So basically, you're looking for highlights instead of for shadows. And that's what makes this so unique and different, is you're going to be focusing on capturing highlight images instead of vice versa. So I'm going to drop my brush density so it doesn't lay down this color nearly as bright, because I'm basically shading where the sun is hitting and not where it isn't. It's a very unique twist to how most people paint. And this is an almost black beak right here, so it makes it a little bit of a challenge, because even in that black, there are areas to shade. Okay, and say the eye, for instance, there's this weird shape here that seems to come over the eye like this, and it's definitely more tan than it is white. And then this can come around here. I might be able to quickly show you. I'll do a screen share and show you guys this image. There we go. So that's the image I'm pulling from to do this sketch. And if you guys ask, I can jump back to it so you can see it. You can also look up cute bird on Pinterest, and that's how I got it. So looking for any area of highlight, even in the eyes, because even in the highlight of the eye, there's going to be something here. And sometimes I find that realism just shows up out of nowhere when you start detailing. What you may think is a dark area may suddenly become alive because you've added some shading in the eye in a weird way. Same thing over here, some kind of weird yellow kind of eyelid of sorts coming around and back down, but then there's a very heavy feather line here, very bright, and luminance here as well. And let me grab my blender here and just kind of blend out some of this. The goal is to do everything in everything needs to be done as much as possible in cross-hatching. Shading is okay, but it can actually kind of remove from the piece if you don't do it right. So it can be, it's a give and take. It really is. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm seeing a big difference in the eyes, so I need to make some adjustments. Okay. Every time I get done with a piece that uses this technique, I find myself just a little bit more impressed that I actually drew that. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that, where you just get that feeling and you kind of like, dude, I did that. I did that. Oh my gosh, you know, that kind of a vibe. So sometimes when I really find myself stuck in a big self-entangled rut, this is one of my ways to fix that. Okay, now I know that the eye that I'm trying to draw is going to line up right to the outside of the lip of this bird. So right there and right there, and that looks pretty close. Now I can keep going. Okay, let's go ahead and make my brush a little bit bigger. And I can start layering in some of these feathers. There's like an area right here where the feathers are really bright and white, and then below, right here, is where they kind of crease up to go to those feathers. So it's a little bit more of a gray. Good luck. Hope your inspiration comes back to work for you. All right, good for you, man. Take care. Good luck. Have a good work day. I'm trying to as well. If I can get into the groove here. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some of this down here. We're going to pull it through and get it a little bit darker as we go in. Lots of feathers also don't help when it comes to getting a good likeness, because I get lazy and I start just swiping my pencil across very quickly, and it can negate things. So you got to kind of think slow, and I don't always think slow. Okay. So we got some kind of feathers going over this way, and then kind of come down here, and then some feathers this way, like so. Okay, and then some other feathers coming this way, off the bottom of the beak, kind of sticking up a little, and going this way, and cutting down this. Let me get a little bit more comfortable. There we go. Okay, so I have a bit of a face going on here. So let me go ahead and kind of start sketching in the body. Okay. All right. Thing I find interesting is that 90% of the definition that will be in this drawing is all in shading in the thicker fur, thicker feathers. Other than that one little part that goes around his back. And honestly, looking at the depth of that, I'll actually need to add background tone to fix that. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. I may actually just change my background color to a lighter gray to offset that. So let's maybe give that a shot. So go grab my background, and I'm just going to raise up the black to a lighter gray, just a very gentle lighter gray. And that will give me just a little bit of room to change some of the features here. So, for instance, I'm looking at this feather, and it comes around here like this, and comes down here like this. Okay, and then here is where the black is going to be. And so what I'm going to do for the moment, maybe I'll just grab my paintbrush, and let me try and drop my brush density like way down, because I really don't know how bad or good this is going to work. Because I haven't done it in this program. I think the pieces I did were probably in Procreate when I did this before. So I can add just a little bit of tone around this bird. It's amazing what tone does. Alright, let's grab some black and start looking at this from the opposite side of things. And you wouldn't need much black. Black is the deepest tone that you can possibly get. In the same way that white is going to be the brightest that you are ever going to get, and it really should only be used in certain circumstances, black is the exact same way. Unless you have crushed blacks in the image that you're drawing, or in the image that you're using for reference, you will rarely need pure black. At least I think. So like this right here, I can shade this down this way. And I'm making sure not to push all the way because I don't want the thickest black that I can get. I'm basically just trying to build the structure. And all of the feathers around this bird are causing basically a glow effect in any reflective spot. Okay. Alright, let's go back to white. And, I mean, I can also take this the other way. And we could fill this all out in white and then back it up a little. But the unique part of this is challenging yourself in reverse. And this can take a couple hours, but we'll see how far I get. Because, truth be told, I'm not going to get very far in my commissions unless I'm feeling inspired in starting them. So completing a piece or feeling good about something to get me started really is going to be a really key thing, a really key factor for me. That's the only issue with being a commissioned artist doing this for a living. If you are not feeling inspired to do something, then your work really hurts for it. Just like any job, you know, if you're not inspired to do your job to its fullest capability, then it's going to suffer, and people are going to suffer, and you're going to suffer. And in the same way, art is something that is a gift, whether it's purchased or whether it's given. The gift of giving a piece to the world could change someone's life, could change someone's life, because if you're an artist and you're inspiring other people to become artists, I mean, what a big difference you're making on people, and that's kind of important. And then if you're doing it for, sadly, I've drawn pieces of dead people. I've been commissioned to draw people who had sadly passed away, and it would be a gift for their family members to remind them of the good times. And if I'm not in a good mood, if I'm not in a good drawing spirit, and I come into this just trying to knock this out and call it a day, that caricature, that commission, and the people who ordered it, it reflects on all of it, and I do mean all of it. So, taking the time to focus your spirit and focus your inspiration and find that inspiration out of something you're doing, and feeling like you've completed something successfully will lead to better artwork. And focus on yourself so that you can focus on others after the fact. That's a hands down big rule of mine. So that's why I stop my pieces and I focus on other things. Yeah, sadly it does mean I'm not getting in money as fast, which right now especially is super important. But I mean, like, I just had to fill the gas tank on my truck today, and my wife and I are both going, ooh, you know, we're both feeling that budget cut, even just filling the truck, you know, and that's okay. That's what happens. And so to be able to, first off, it's important to give a good piece because that person deserves what they paid for. And then secondly, and this is more business, but secondly, when that person loves their piece, they go and they tell their friends. And then their friends come and they find me and ask me for a commission. And then their friends ask me for a commission. And over time, your name gets known and you become known as a certain kind of artist. And when that happens, that's when you start doing okay. But it requires that step and it requires that goal to do something beautiful and get it right the first time, instead of sending them a piece, them saying, this wasn't quite what I was expecting, and then finding yourself either redoing it and feeling even less motivated than you were originally, or whatever else the case may be. So focus on yourself, that way you can bless others, and that's really going to make all the difference. So you can see a little bit at a time here, I'm adding highlights and shadows to this, even though they seem kind of faint. But like this area right here is a very, I'll show you the other image real quick. The area right here is very blown out white, and that blowout kind of follows to right here, and you can kind of see a little bit of a line right here that kind of follows out to here before it hits this gap of less dense feathers. So I want to kind of fill this area in on my bird and kind of get that filled in. And of course it's all chicken scratch, and that's perfectly fine. I love doing cross hatching, and if I do it right, it still looks gorgeous in the end, you know? But I'm using that gray popping through as part of my shadows in the background. You can already kind of see it looks pretty cool. It doesn't take much to start to see a piece take shape. The thing that amazes me is sometimes it's just one little stroke or two that suddenly brings in a likeness. You draw, what I like to do is I like to draw caricatures as long as I can without drawing their pupils in the eyes. And I save the pupils in the eyes for last, or as much as possible for the last, or somewhere until I need to know a little bit more information, or I need to feel in myself that I'm getting that commission closer. And then that's when I fill in those pupils. And once that's done, that immediately tells me if I'm on the right track or not. It begins to differentiate. There's a really dark area here, so I'm going to calm down my strokes so that they are a little bit less full. So hopefully some of that shadow will show through down here. So it's just even strokes kind of like this coming down. A little cross hatching never hurt. Kind of tuck this into the bottom of the beak here. So we can definitely see a pretty solid looking face there, and it looks pretty cute. I actually really like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and start building off of it and seeing what I can do to kind of cute it up a little bit more and just build the structure. because this bird's feather is showing a lot more structure than mine are. So I need to work on my feathers and build them up to kind of start getting that structure, and maybe think in reverse, because right now I'm trying to think what's lighter and what's darker, and using the gray in the background as my trump card, if you will, to build that tone. But maybe I need to start thinking backwards and start adding in other colors on top of this, which is not my preference, but I'll do it if I need to. My preference would be that I would build everything out of a white in different opacities going upward and not going back. Because the instance that I start putting gray over top the white, then it starts to diminish what I've created. The other option is maybe I can start erasing white using a slightly transparent eraser or something. That could also be a good way to go. Alright, now actually, the area that I'm drawing in here that's becoming very white really would not be white in the final piece. And I'll go ahead and show you here, switch over to the screen. And if you look here right above the eyes, you can see a little bit of yellow here. That's like the top of the eyelid, and it's on both sides. And even a little on the bottom. There's a little line on the bottom that I'm not sure about. It looks like the bottom of the eyelid. So this would, in black and white, be more of a gray. So for me to add more white on top, if I switch back here, you can see that it's a little too blown out. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to draw it as such, just to get the sketch in there the way I need it, and to kind of help fill in the areas around it, and also try to build out the eye structure just a little bit more. Okay. Now the bottom of the eyelid, just below the eyelid itself, there's a high point of white right... Uh-oh, what did I do? Okay, there's a high point of white right here along this little line right here. You might not be able to see that, but it's there, and it's an intense white just right there along the eyelid. So let's go back to here, and you can see I kind of already have it in there, which is good. But I don't want it to negate on the eyelid that I'm about to build in here. So the eyelid will come in here, just like this, a very, very gentle thing, and just kind of cut off here. And it's a little bit still a bit too intense with the white, but for now I'm going to leave it like that, and maybe I'll drop it into this a little bit more. No, actually, let me try this. So I selected the gray that's there, and I'm going to go ahead and brush into it. Make sure that my eye stays shaped the way I want it to, and then I'm going to add the eyelid below. And so once I have this filled in, which I kind of do here to my liking, then maybe I'll start cutting in down here and build the eyelid in down here. And it's all about subtlety. Just try and do very, very light strokes until that disappears and starts to look a bit like an eyelid. Okay, let's go ahead now and get some black. And the blacks are really blown out on this image. They're really saturated. So I call them crushed blacks. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start building it in as if I know what I'm doing, and then hopefully I can back it off. So this is more of a pure black here, because it is, in my mind, it is crushed. But you're going to see I'm going to start making my way back here down the eye, and as I go back further, I'm going to slowly release that black and try and get it more as a gradient. And if it's not working for me, like right now I'm not quite feeling it, I'm going to grab my mixer brush and kind of blend some things together, which is a dangerous thing to do in this because smoothing creates blur. And blur might not always be a good thing. So be very, very careful when you use blur, because I'm doing all this on one layer. If I turn off this layer, everything turns off. So you need to be very careful when you're blending, because if you start blending into the white, then you're going to start affecting the white lines that need to stay firm. See if I go like this. Whoops. So waiting to see if I made a mistake. I don't know if I made a mistake or not. Anyway, I'm gonna hit back once just in case. But if I grab my blending tool and I move it all the way up and down, you can see that it's blending all the way through the image, and that's not what I want. I want to focus all of my blending right here in the eyelid, in the eyeball itself. And need lots of black in there because I do want it to hold a depth. I want it to suck you in, you know? So I might draw in a little bit hard black somewhere in here and then try and blend it out very, very, very gently, really focusing on making sure that it stays there. So you can see there's a lot of depth in that eyeball now, a little bit more than in the actual picture because the shading here is letting in a bit too much light, where on the bird itself you can see that they look almost black, but then if you were to zoom in and look closely along the side of the eye, you would actually see an alignment right there. So we'll try and do that real quick. Selecting with my finger to grab the color I want, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut into this and cut it down right to this highlight point, making sure that it's a bit more subtle than it was, and blending the top and bottom so hopefully it still holds that strong texture. And if I feel like I'm losing definition, like it's losing its circularness, I can go back in with just a quick swipe of something and boost it up. So for instance, my airbrush, using my soft brush and making sure that my brush is super small, and I can just do a pass or two here, and you're going to see that it's just going to start rebuilding a really cool looking eye shape, which actually I like that even though it doesn't show in the original image. I kind of like that, so maybe we'll run with that. It looks really pretty. And you can start to see this face is beginning to come together a little bit, and it's starting to take on a life and a form. And if you really want it to show life and form, check this out. I'm about to blow your mind. You ready? Let me go grab white, and here we go. Oh, it's like instant life. I'm telling you, that's sometimes all it takes. Just some little pinpoints in the eyes make it look more alive and more awake. It's really fun when that happens. But like I always say, I like to save that moment for later. Especially when I'm drawing in public. When I draw in public, one of the funnest things is to draw everything and then put in the white in the eye last. So you might even draw the pupil, but the white in the eye, it's like boom! And suddenly you realize that life has just hit this caricature and it looks awesome. Let me turn down my brightness a little bit because the sun is peeking through my curtains a little bit, and of course blinding my camera. There we go. Okay. So let me go ahead and keep building up the structure. The nice thing about also having my image to the side, when I look over this way, I'm looking at you, per se. I'm looking at the chat conversation and everything, but I also get a smaller version of the bird on the stream, so I can kind of see it and then kind of rework it off that smaller image in comparison to what I'm drawing on my tablet, which is very, very helpful. So let's come back over here. Actually, let's come back over here real quick. And I'm going to grab some gray from here, and we're going to go ahead and apply some of that gray into here. And I find this instantly can start to make things a little dirty looking because you're going over the white. So the other option would be to take it towards black and then reshade it out again. It depends on the circumstance and what you're trying to accomplish. So for me right now, I do want to get rid of this white that's above the top of the eye. So I'm going to minimize my brush and literally just take out that white that's above the eyelid. Okay, and this is a little dark. I do think that the bird's lid of the eye is a bit brighter than this. So I have gone a little darker on purpose. And I'm also trying to make sure that it looks like it's following down the side of the eye a little bit. And I'm also trying to make sure that it's not too big. And that feathers will look like they overlap it. So by going big like that, now I can grab my white. And I can focus on maybe just gently putting in a little bit of white here. and cross-hatching in my lighter gray, which I think always looks kind of cool and reminds me a lot of Drew Struzan's work, if you've seen how he does shading, and that's kind of what first inspired me to do stuff like this. Because if you look at his Drew Struzan's pieces, and you look at when he does a highlight, like what's on my face right now, blinding me from outside the window, he will literally take a white pencil and just draw in 3 or 4 strokes. And those 3 or 4 strokes, just like boop, 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 can make all the difference. And when it happens, it's just a beautiful thing. And it's something that I aspire in my work, to be able to put something that simple but have that much consistency in it, you know, that makes it look like it was more than on purpose and has more value than just 3 or 4 quick little lines and strokes across. It's very, very inspiring. Go look at his work and really zoom in on it and prepare to be blown away by the amount of detail that you see as you're digging through it. It's beautiful work. Okay, so I think this still looks a little too thick, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the feathers into it and kind of pretend that they're overlaying over the top of it. And I'm just going to carry them down this a little, and then right here is where it becomes the most visible. And I am going to cut them down just a little bit. I do want them to overlap it just a little. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish off the eyelid by looking at my gray tone, and then going into something just a little bit darker. And I'm going to follow that up this way, like this. And that should give some definition to that upper eyelid just a little bit. So I'll show you my eyelid, and then I'll show you the original image. There we go. And you can see theirs is much more subtle than mine is. Mine's a bit more bold and pronounced. But it's not bad. Okay. So for now, we're going to go ahead and be okay with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this other eye. This other eye has a lot more a lot more feathers surrounding it. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on getting that surrounding featherage, plumage. Actually, I guess that would be the proper term, right? Plumage. So, and now the sun goes away and now I'm getting dark. So I apologize, guys. That is the problem with me having my window open. Hopefully, if I can get my DSLR to work the way I'm hoping it will on Thursday, then hopefully I can just reach over and make an adjustment on my camera, and then you guys won't have to worry about it so much. Because I do like having my window open, being able to see outside and being able to see life helps me not feel like I'm in my cave, because this turns into a cave. Any room that I sit in becomes a cave, and it becomes quite annoying to me. I need the inspiration, and the more light I can have in a room, the more inspired I am. But speaking of inspiration, here I am. I'm feeling inspired now, and I love the piece I'm working on, and it feels good, and it's starting to have life. It's starting to have a little bit of structure, and it looks really fun. And that's where finally I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, now I'm feeling better. Now I feel like I can start working on a client piece. And actually start getting somewhere. So in a few minutes, I might have to start working on a client piece over working on this, which is always a shame. You hate to stop. But at the same time, you really need to focus on building yourself up and getting yourself ready to do a good piece. And if you're not feeling that, then you shouldn't be drawing. Your artwork is going to change someone else's day. Hands down, it will change someone else's day. So make sure that you're doing it right, so that way they can enjoy it and actually be blessed by it and not feel hurt by it. All right. Zoom out here a little bit and kind of eyeball this. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see here. Aye, laddie, that be good Diet Coke. Fresh from the lands of Cancun. Not really. Okay. So this feels good. I'm going to go grab the black of this eye, and I'm going to go ahead and start building in the black of the other eye. Same idea. Start filling it in the way I want to, and focus on blending out the areas that I need, and then I can blend in the pupil so it looks pretty and cute like I did before. Paying attention to the bottom of the eye lid, making sure that I either can put a white dot there or something like that to bring out the expression in the eye, or try and focus on making sure that some of that gray stays down there so that it will naturally look like a highlight point. Excuse me. Okay, and once again, I think I'll do the same thing I did before. So, I'm going to fill this in just a little bit more, pull it through a little bit more. And grab my shader. Okay, and when I feel like I got that blended, then maybe I can go grab a little bit of the highlight. About here, maybe, and then I can go grab my airbrush and just do a couple passes in this area here, and that will once again kind of begin to develop the pupil. And if I don't like it, which I really don't right now, then I will select a darker black and airbrush in where I kind of want that pupil to be. And that seems a little dark, so I am going to try and put a little bit more on the opposite eye and see if I need to tone down the other one. So I'm just going to do a couple passes of the black over the other eye and see if I can kind of balance it out. Worst comes to worst, and I'll do it here for you guys just so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and literally color this in. By the way, I had a good time answering someone's question this morning. He just liked my tweet back in response. I think it's the Digital Art Guru asked me what I thought about certain markers that I was teaching about using, and I responded back to them on video, on a video format, on Twitch, and I really love doing that. So if you guys ever have any questions, not on Twitch, excuse me, on Twitter. So if you guys ever have any questions and I'm not on Twitch to answer them, send me a tweet, ask me that question, and if it's something that I can answer in a minute, then I'll be happy to send you back a video with my answer. I really do enjoy doing that, even over typing. I just really enjoy, you know, having a chance to say, hey, you know what, that was a really great question. Let me help you out and see if I can answer it for you. Okay. Once again, gonna see if I can just gently paint in. There we go, that looks cool. There we go. Just make it a bit more saturated on the opposite side too. So that looks really cute and very, very simple, but so far so good. I think that this looks really good. I think we have a long way to go on this piece. So I'm going to save this picture to my computer for later. Save image as, so I don't lose it. And maybe we'll come back and work on this guy a little bit more. If you enjoyed seeing this, let me know in the comments on YouTube, or let me know here on Twitch that you would like me to continue to develop this guy out. I think that would be really fun, and I think he would look super cute when we're done. And it's a nice little exaggeration from this original piece, this original picture, while still pushing it. So there we go. Like that, and like that. So, really quickly, I'm going to come in here and do one more little effect, and I just want to add a little bit more white on the tip of this nose here really quick, on the tip of the beak, with my pencil, because it's just, once you start getting inspired, then you don't want to leave. and for giggles, just because I want to inspire you guys, I'll go ahead and put in a highlight here and here, same one here and here, and just look at how much life suddenly shows up on that bird's face. Isn't that amazing? I absolutely love when that happens, and I hope that you guys enjoyed that too. We will come back to this little guy. He is adorable, he needs more attention, and we'll be happy to give it, won't we? But we need to go ahead and get back to focusing on other artwork. I have a couple pieces I need to focus on today. I think I'm going to import one over from my other program, which is Procreate. Unless I already put it in here. I think I already have it in here. And let me look at a couple other pieces and see if I can also send them over to Procreate as well. This is a big, big, big piece that I'm working on right now, which is very technical and is going to take a lot of work to finalize. I absolutely love how it's turning out. And it is the creature from the Black Lagoon. This is a very special piece that is actually going to be hung up in someone's house or in their restaurant by the time this is done. So I've really put a lot of focus on this, and it has a long way to go. I can even show you the time lapse, because that's one of the beautiful things of Procreate, is the ability to record video. But I am also thinking I might move this over into... actually, I'm kind of torn, because I do love Clip Studio, but I do love two things about Procreate. One, it does excellent vector lines, and then two, it does really, really great recording features, which Clip Studio just doesn't have. If Clip Studio had a recording function to record the screen, like this is doing right now, and then it would be the ultimate win for me. Now, you were probably thinking in your head, but Tim, there is that method. It can do that. It really can't, because right here you're looking and you're seeing it drawing in front of your eyes, and it's really, really cool. But what you didn't see that I did do during this whole drawing process is I'm zooming in and out, I'm rotating the canvas and stuff, and it just makes a drawing so incredibly chaotic. If you want proof of that, just go look at a couple of my speed paints from way back when. Right there will show you everything. This is so much less chaotic. It's fun to watch, where if you watch those other pieces where you see this everything rotating and zooming in and out and everything, you literally get dizzy from it, and it's very unfortunate when that happens, and it happens a lot. So having this ability to have it record like this, and I think that Sketchbook does this as well, it's a really great feature that really needs to be added also into Clip Studio. So if I had one critique on Clip Studio, that would be the one thing I would like added. This would be it. So there you go. And that's the female that I got to work on. I got to do some kind of bikini-clad damsel in distress. And I stink at drawing women, so I need to get reference photos and stuff and try and draw that out, and that will be a bit more of a challenge. So I've enjoyed drawing the beast from the Black Lagoon, the creature from the Black Lagoon, but I haven't gotten to the second stage, which is going to be just as important, which is the damsel that needs to be drawn in. You can see I got a concept going here that I pulled from a reference photo that I found on Pinterest, but it just really isn't there, and my anatomy structure, it ain't that grand either. So that's the other thing. Oh, you know what we're going to do really quick? I'm going to hop over. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to hop over into Twitter really quick. And we're going to grab... I think I have Twitter on here. I hope I do. We're going to grab an image out of Twitter. If I don't have it on here, I will download it really quick. And we are going to record a quick critique. Someone asked me to do a critique on their artwork yesterday. And I think that will be something that you will earn loyalty points for in the future. Or you can even make a donation. That might be something I will probably do. If you want me to critique your work, donate $1 or something like that. That might actually be a really good idea. Because I've always thought this is something that you would do, you would ask for at school. You would ask for someone to critique your work. And you would pay how much to have them critique your work. So I think that might be a good thing. I might add that on here, but we'll see. Let's see, I need Twitter. I want to see if it's on here or not. And it is not. I have it on my other tablet. So let me go ahead and download this real quick. And while it's downloading, I will talk with you guys. Feel really good about that. I do think it would be a very good idea to do critiques for $1. Maybe I'll do that, critiques for $1. And that way I can hopefully continue to find some ways to get some extra money while still able to offer you guys some extra help. I'll have to find a way to set that up, but I think that would be kind of cool. So... I'm waiting for that to download. Oh, it's already downloaded. Let me try and log in here real quick. See what's happening in the world. What's your name? How can I just log in instead of telling you all my information? How about this button down here? There we go. Tim Michael. And let me log in and see if I can remember my own password and log in. Let's see. Okay, and there we go. All right, now we're back in. So let me go ahead and allow Twitter to have notifications and all that jazz. Let me go ahead and hop back in here, and we'll take a look at this really quick. Let's go back to the drawing tablet. So we're in my Twitter account now, and I need to go find... Here's my response, by the way, to that one guy. But I am looking for the person who asked me to critique their work, and I don't remember how that works. Hang on, I'm still trying to get used to Twitter now that I'm back, per se. Here's that image that I need to critique. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this. There we go. And that way I can do that. I just want to get rid of the filters there and get rid of that, and I'll take another one. Okay. Okay, so we will be doing this critique for Shiny Guy. Okay? So let me go ahead and open this up in... Not in Procreate, excuse me. Let me open this up in my Clip Studio, and we will record this critique. I'll try to keep it short, and we will record this critique. Maybe I'll do a 10-minute critique. That'd be a good idea. I'll start up the timer, and I'll do a 10-minute critique. I think that would be a great idea, because I talk way too long, and I do way too much on my videos, but if I do a quick 10-minute critique, that would be pretty cool. Let's see. Let me go ahead and hop back in here, and make a new canvas. And import from Photo Gallery. Okay. Okay. And let me go ahead and blow this up. Okay, and we're literally going to record this, which I think will be kind of fun. So hang on just a second, we're going to just put some text here. Let me see. Okay. All right, you guys, so we're going to start this critique here in a second. I do want to make sure that the quality of this video is a little better. So let me go to the Draw2MuchLIVE intro, and I'm literally going to intro this as if it's a real video, which it is because I'm recording it live, basically, and then I'll upload it later once we finish up the stream for today. But let me go ahead and turn over to that Draw2MuchLIVE, close my curtains so that the lighting stays the same throughout the recording, and we'll do this critique. Here we go. All right, you guys, here's where we get fun. Let me just make sure, let me switch back over here to my webcam real quick, because I knew it would be dark once I closed my curtains. Like I said, this place turns into a dark area. What's going on? We're about to do a critique here. So hang on just a second while I make some adjustments to my camera, and then we're going to do a good old-fashioned YouTube recording critique. Let me boost up this a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's get down to some business. Here we go. Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing? My name is Tim, and I am on my Draw2MuchLIVE channel right now doing a live stream on Twitch and also on YouTube, as well as recording a critique. Now, basically, I'm going to start offering critiques where if you give me a donation of any amount on my Twitch, then I will be happy to critique one art piece for you. Okay, I'm really excited about that. I hope that that inspires some people, but someone did ask me to critique something, and I figure I would go ahead and do that and try and help them out. It's a unique piece, and I think that we can step it up and help them out a lot, and I think it'll look pretty cool once we're done. The other thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do this in 10 minutes. This is going to be a 10-minute critique. So we're going to jump over into my stream here, and you're going to see everyone in the chat room, and we're going to go ahead and do this critique on this piece and see if we can help out. This is for Shiny Guy, and you can look him up, Shiny Guy, on Twitter. That's where he got in touch with me. If you guys are interested, then you can come on over to Twitch, simply get on here, give me a donation of any amount, and then send me over your artwork and let me know that you put in that donation, and we'll get this working, okay? So I think this will be really fun and a cool critique, so let's go ahead and head over now and show you my iPad and Clip Studio. And here's the artwork that I will be critiquing. And then I'm going to turn on my counter here, which is 10 minutes, and I'm going to try and critique this sucker in 10 minutes. I think we got a real challenge ahead of us to critique this within 10 minutes, but I think that that kind of helps me keep my head on straight, because quite honestly, I could talk way too long about this one. I just need to keep it short for you guys. All right, we ready to get this started? Let's do it. The 10-minute clock starts right now. That's going to get started here, and we're going to get down to brass tacks. Okay, or tacks of brass, as you may have heard from Legends, I don't know, whatever that Christmas movie is with Santa Claus and all the rest of the gang. Okay, so what I've done is I've dropped the opacity on this, and I'm going to go ahead and just start drawing over top of it. We're going to take a look first off at the body anatomy. Like I said, this is a quick critique, so I'm going to be talking a little fast. Let's go ahead and start first with the anatomy. We know that the face is here, okay? And we know that the body comes down this way like this, and then kind of stops somewhere around here, and then the legs are going to obviously come down here and continue on to the foot, okay? Now, I'm not going to worry extremely about anatomy because I don't have enough time to worry about that. I am going to worry about helping you rebuild the structure a little bit, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start by kind of making a new structure in here, building out the body type, okay? And we're going to kind of try and consider where the hips are and all this. And this is anatomy, which anatomy sometimes is not my strong suit and something I'm learning out quite honestly myself, but I think I have enough where I can offer a little bit of advice at least. Okay, so we have this going on here, and now we have the ability for the legs. I do think maybe the legs would have been a little bit longer for this girl. I think they would have gone down a little bit more with the body structuring that you'd already begun, and then this leg can come down this way, and this can come here. And like you can see, my feet kind of come down a little bit lower. So I think you're close, but I think that the legs are a bit too short, okay? With the face, with the head turning a little bit, so we'll do this, and she would be kind of looking up a little, which I'm not trying to perfectly match that. If I try to perfectly match that, I will quickly not do that. I will quickly grab this, okay? And let me go grab this and just rotate this a little bit and line it up a little bit. Okay, so for the eye, I do think that it would have helped a little bit if when you did that eye, you filled it in completely. So the structuring, however you want to do the structure, that's up to you. Everyone's going to have a different art style, but I do think that filling in the eye completely in full black is going to make a big difference. So fill it in completely instead of leaving it unfilled, and then put in your eye as you see fit. And I could talk about all this quite a bit more and critique this down to the nth degree, but I'm just going to keep this light, okay? So let's say that we're happy with that. The face is coming like this, so if we drew the other eye, it would be somewhere over here. And I'm just doing that really quick just to make sure that I'm not missing anything with the hair, and that looks fine. And then the nose is going to come down here. With the nose for a girl, whether you're doing anime or whether you're doing whatever, if you are doing anime, usually that's just like a triangle shape of sorts. So if we were going that route, then it would be something kind of coming down and cutting over like this, which I'm not a fan of anime. I personally like a little bit more detail than that. And admittedly, the artwork behind is confusing me a little bit. So let me drop my opacity just a bit more on that behind layer so that I can focus on the face that I have at hand here. Okay, how are we doing on time? We got 6 minutes left. So I think with this one, maybe the nose would kind of come this way a little bit. I'm not certain in this case. And then your mouth, if you wanted to, you draw the mouth as you see fit. And I'm doing a miserable job trying to critique how to draw the face, even though the face is kind of where I have a little bit more to offer. Because I'm not used to anime style, and I know this is a bit more anime style, and I want to kind of turn this into a little bit more of a actual caricature or cartoon or whatever, and this looks far more anime than I'm going right now. So if I was to do it my way, it might look something a bit more where I'm actually putting in a real nose or whatever. If we continue on the anime route or whatever, your ear is going to be a little bit smaller and line up with the bottom of the nose, and usually the eyelash, which you have no, eyebrow, which you don't have an eyebrow here, which means that her ear would be super huge in this case. But I do think anime takes a little bit of creative license when it comes to that. So if we draw in the side of the face here and we do a little kind of eyebrow or whatever, we can kind of make the ear kind of small about here instead. I'd say line it up to the bottom of the nose just to play it safe. I'm not going to worry about the hair. I could talk about the hand. It's not perfect, but you can certainly clean it up a little bit and kind of give her those dainty little fingers kind of coming out like this a little bit more, and then the bottom of the hand. And hand isn't really my thing. Thank you, Brett, for your subscription. Greatly appreciate that. 4 minutes and 53 seconds left. Let's get to some of the trunk area here. I think that the breasts are far too low. If you take a triangle and you draw it here, kind of like this, okay, even if she is big-chested, right here would be where the areolas / nipples would be, and then you would build the chest off of this. So if you were doing like an upside-down heart kind of shape like that, or in other proper terms, maybe two hanging, what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Balloons, like water balloons, then that would kind of balance that out. Now, if you look here, if we're thinking about the rib cage, you would kind of come off of here, and this would come down to her waist structure in this area. Now, I could have gone a bit thicker in this area here, but you can see that there's quite a big difference in the body mass in my girl in comparison to the other one. If I turn off this layer and you look, this right here, this would be, let me get another layer here. So if we drew a triangle about here, this would come up much higher, like this, okay? And if we do the kind of like that, this would connect to the bottom of the arm here pretty much, kind of like this. And then your rib cage would be here, and then it would hook up to your hip region a little bit closer. So I think that the structure of the dress would be pulled in as well for that. I'm not going to worry about the dress, not going to worry about the shoe so much. Maybe this not as sharp, maybe a little bit more straight coming down into the shoe. And then other than that, I mean, there's other things that I could critique. I think the neck is a little big. I think the neck would probably be a little bit more slender in this area here. And then you would, rework your shoulders and stuff off of this new anatomy structure off of that. I think if you look up some Psycho Yasin videos, he does great on anatomy. I will warn you, it is not G-rated. If you are concerned, first off, if you are a concerned parent wanting to make sure that your child is seeing clean stuff, then you need to be careful with some of the artists that you go to. But if you are a person trying to learn anatomy properly and you're trying to learn structuring properly and you want those references, Psycho Yasin is excellent. A couple of really great artists here on YouTube, and then of course you can also check out Pinterest and get some reference photos from Pinterest. So that would be my first couple ideas that I would suggest in your in the critique, and then from there it would be little things like how long the arm is, and that's not bad. Inline's arm, maybe I would just come back just a little bit. Her hand is not quite gripping the magic wand, so I would learn how to draw structure and grabbing the wand properly there. And then same thing as take that same structure and take it to the other side for the other arm, so you can get that line alignment just right for this hand. And learn how to draw hands either in two ways. One with a square, and then you can build your finger structure off of this kind of idea with a thumb coming off of there. Or I kind of like to do this for girls. I like to do a triangle, and then I'll build the fingers off of this mentality here. And then I'll build my thumb off of that. It makes it a little awkward because then you kind of have to rethink a couple things, but it kind of helps you, think dainty if you're working on a female body, and then think kind of manly if you're working off of a guy's body with more of a square shape. But you can see kind of with the structuring that I'm doing here, there's a little bit more opportunity to kind of clean things up a little bit. And you can see that to connect this right to where the collarbone would be and the neck connecting to her face, coming down over the trunk of the body, really has to contort inwards to make that connection. So I think that would help you out a little bit. And I'm obviously not going to be able to continue here because we're down to the last 30 seconds of this, but I hope that was helpful to you and kind of gives you a new guide on how to do that. Thank you so much for asking me to critique your work. I hope you guys would consider to do the same. Come on over to my Twitch, make a donation, send me some artwork to critique. I'll be happy to look at it. And thank you so much for supporting me here on Twitch and on YouTube. My name is Tim Michael, and I'll see you on Draw2Much and Draw2MuchLIVE. God bless you guys. I'll see you next time. And that's 0 seconds. Nice. Not bad, guys. Not bad. I hope you guys think I did okay. That was the best I could do in 10 minutes. Okay, I think we're going to take a quick 10-minute breather. I'm going to go check the mail. I'm waiting for some stuff to come in that I want today, and then we will get on with some artwork. So, quick 5-minute breather. I'm going to go ahead and put on our little bathroom break sign, and you'll see a countdown clock for 5 minutes, and I'll be back, and we'll make this happen, and we'll have a good time doing some more drawings. See you in a few. Alrighty, beautiful people, and we are back. I am going to make a quick change really quick before we continue on with our drawings for today. I'm going to go ahead and erase my critique that I've done and hop over into the piece I'm going to be working on. And then I want to quickly go ahead and add into our list of things that show up in our chat box how you can make a donation for doing critiques. Because I know once that goes online, it would not surprise me if we had a few people stop on by and begin doing that. So let me go ahead and quickly add that in here. Shouldn't take but a moment and get that set up. Streamlabs. Streamlabs is kind of awesome, just saying. And let me quickly go to my timers. Oh no, that's Nightbot. Excuse me, Nightbot. Nightbot is what I'm looking for. Timers. And let me add a new timer in here really quickly. Okay. Critique. Any amount. I'm going to say $1 or more. I don't need someone cheaping me out for 50 cents. Now record a 10-minute critique of your piece. And it on my YouTube channel. Donate here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and submit that, and then I need to go quickly get the download link for that. Donations. There we go. And let me go to critiques. Edit. Should have done this before I got back on, but you know what? I'm here. I'm doing it now. Okay. And let me go quickly make a quick edit to this one. Bip. And excuse me. There we go. All right. Donate here. And send me your image on Instagram or Twitter. Okay, cool. We are submitted and active, so that now should start up here in about 15 minutes when people talk a little bit more, so that'll be great. All right, I feel good about that. That actually sounds like a really good idea. I am looking for ways to make money because admittedly I can't keep doing this for free. I have to find some way to get in some more funds. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know because I'm at a bit of a loss. I want to continue to do this, but I can't afford no money coming in. So, and I'm basically unemployed right now, and my wife needs me to make money, and I'm doing everything I can, so I don't know what else to do. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back in here and get back to work, huh? Let's see here. Let me do one more thing here real quick. I want to see if my counter is up to date on my page. We're going to hop over here. Uh-oh. I hope that that can be brought back up because I really don't want to reboot my computer. There we go. Ah, good. Woo! Okay. I'll let you look at that real quick while I check one or two more quick things. I want to look at Twitch dashboard and YouTube. Just to see what my counts are right now, because right now my counter says 1 person on Twitch and 2 on YouTube, and I want to make sure that's correct. Why is my 10-minute clock up there? Go away. Okay, so we do have one viewer on Twitch. Thank you so much, one viewer, for coming in and hanging out. And let me go look over at YouTube real quick. And YouTube says 0. And yet it says 2 here, so not quite up to date. Okay. That's just fine. That's just fine. Okie dokie. At least I have a video I can upload to YouTube later, which will be great. Okay, let's go ahead and hop back over into Jason's piece, and we're going to continue to plug away on this and see how far I can get. I might get a little quiet because I may try and get a little bit more focused on this now that we're kind of in the groove a little bit with that last piece. I think that's going to kind of help me kind of drive in on this. So if I get quiet and I get focused, don't mind me. Ask any questions you want. I will be happy to answer them. Like I said, I prefer talking with people and answering questions over not doing that. And it being quiet in here. And it's quiet in here. It makes me want to leave. So that is going to do it there. Oh, and I just got a text from my wife. So let me check on her tweets or texts and make sure she's doing okay. Beep. Okay. All right, let's see here. Don't like that. That's a little better. Oh dear, wow, that would have been a big mistake. Just hit the clear button. Okay. Must have hit the undo button by accident. All right. Let me go ahead and make a new layer, and we're going to go ahead and import his uniform colors. Not sure where it is. Thought it was under camera roll, but apparently not. There it is. Yeah, there we go. Let's do rasterize and start erasing all this excess. Might leave it on his radio too, just in case. All right. Oh, our stream internet is not looking good at all. We're starting to drop some frames here. Let me see if I can find out any reasons why, because that doesn't look pretty at all. Let me close a couple windows and see if I can wake this up a little bit, because that's not good. Okay. That might be a good reason why people aren't showing up. You never know. So let me quickly check one more thing and make sure that my internet stream is pushing at its rate that it's supposed to be. Launch config utility. And it says 300 megabits, so it's pulling full force. So that should be good. And let me also make sure just to check my CPU and all that little jazz and make sure that that's not anything important either. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and send out my tweet for the day for our 10-minute challenge drawing. Basically, if you follow me on Twitter, then you can respond back to that tweet and tell me what I should draw. And I think if we get about 3 people to respond back, it needs to be 3 or else I'm not going to do it, then I will do that. I will draw one of those 3 options, or I'll even combine all 3 together in one piece and draw it in 10 minutes. That's the main goal. So that tweet is going to go out here right now, and that is now waiting for you guys. And then once we get closer to it, then we're going to do the 10-minute challenge, and we will do it at the top of the hour, which is in about 4, well, we'll do it at 2 hours, so we'll do that in about 4 minutes. So if we can get 3 people to tweet back on what I should draw, then I will do it. If not, then we'll do it next time. We'll try again tomorrow. And since I don't know if I need any of this extra elbow, I'm going to kind of cut it like this so I can draw in extra without erasing. Just in case. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, 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 nope. Back up, back up, back up. Come on, come on. There we go. So this will kind of actually erase around like this. And I will leave that there, and then we're going to cut it back up here. There we go. 2 minutes to get in your thought on what I should draw. Got to do it on Twitter. I will make an effort as well today, a little later on after the stream, to update my links on my dashboard or whatever, what you guys see, so that you guys can find your way to my Twitter and all that sort of stuff during streams. That way I can just tell you guys to go to my profile or whatever, and you can find it that way. Instead of just doing it through my... waiting for it to show up on my Nightbot, which doesn't work until people actually start messaging on there. All right, we are at the 2 o'clock, well, the 2-hour drop, so let's go ahead and take a look at Twitter and see if anything's come in. All right, no one has responded back, so we're not going to worry about it today, which is totally all right. Okay. Ooh, this office is getting warm. I turned off the heater, which I never ever thought I would actually need a heater, because I lived in Florida before this. But yeah, you need a heater in Montana, that's for sure. Alright guys, I know I'm kind of just breathing into the microphone here, so I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. If I see any chats come in, I will be happy to unmute and get involved in the chat. I love when people come in and talk, but when it gets quiet in here, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of sit myself back a little bit, kind of focus on artwork, and just start knocking out some more stuff. So you guys are more than welcome to talk. When I see people chatting, then I'll probably hop in and chat with you guys, and you can chat in both YouTube and on Twitch. So have fun on both accounts, and I look forward to talking with you guys when you show up. Otherwise, just enjoy the show, and I'm just going to sit back, relax, and keep plugging. So thank you for hanging out with me today, though. I appreciate it, and I always love spending time with you guys. Howdy, howdy there. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot louder in my headphones. Hello. Okay. That's loud. I am using Clip Studio on iPad. So I'm drawing it right on my iPad wireless for you guys right now. It's kind of awesome. It's a great, great app. That was really loud. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me figure out why it's freaking out like that. Because I'm not sending audio through it that way. That's kind of crazy loud. Whew. Okay, I think we're good now. So sorry about that. That's a little loud. More than I was planning on. Anyway. Yes. So yes, I am using the amazing program Clip Studio. It can't be beat. The only thing that's bummer about it is that it's $8.99 a month to have it on your iPad. But you can have it for the first 6 months completely free, which is kind of awesome. So I am enjoying this thoroughly, and you can take a look at some of my videos on my YouTube channel if you want to learn a little bit more about it. Because I got some videos that I've thrown up there, and everyone in the art community is freaking out that this program is now available on iPad, because this is by far the best drawing program, period, hands down. And before that, and another amazing program, if you want to use something else, Procreate is absolutely fantastic if you have an iPad as well. Sometimes I seriously hate YouTube ads. I'm listening to this great music mix thing, having a good old time, enjoying doing it while I'm drawing, and the music just stops, and then you get an Ashley furniture ad. Big thanks to the Patchfinder Crow. And I'm going to unmute my desktop so you get to hear the wonderful little chime that I love to hear oh so much. It should happen any minute now. Thanks for hanging out with me. Just waiting for that magic moment. Any moment now. Maybe it happened while I wasn't looking. Oh. There it is. Thank you very much for your follow. I appreciate it. One step closer to getting us to the great big 100. If you have any friends, pass it on to them. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching me draw for a little bit. If I can answer any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going back to my crazy busy music. Alrighty, you beautiful people. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm just going to go ahead and I think and start to wrap things up here. I have had a pretty successful day with this piece, finally, now that we've kind of caught up with ourselves just a little bit. I hope that you enjoyed the process trying to lead up to this, working on that fun little bird that you may have seen a little bit earlier, leading up to now. The stream seems incredibly quiet, and when it gets to this point, then I begin to go ahead and shut things down a little bit. So we're coming up on 3 hours here in about 7 minutes, so I think now is a pretty good time to go ahead and do that, and then I can get started on some other business type stuff that I have going on, as well as some other art pieces. But I will be sharing more with you guys tomorrow. Usually I'm getting on here these days no later, hopefully, than 11 to noon, and then I like getting on early if I can, but I've been spending my mornings hanging out with my father-in-law, making sure he's feeling okay, and just having an ear there to be with him if he needs someone to talk to, and having a good time with him. We watched like Kong this morning at his house and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow. If you haven't followed me yet, I would greatly appreciate it. Of course, we do have a couple goals that we're trying to meet. If we can get 100 people within the next 15 days, I will be doing a caricature giveaway by the end of the month. And then, of course, if you can donate to the cause and help my wife and I out, I'd be greatly appreciative of that. If you want me to critique a piece that you have, just donate $1 or any amount that you want, and then send me your piece over to Instagram or to Twitter, and I will see that and make sure it matches up with your donation, and make sure to get you a recorded critique just for you, a 10-minute quick critique, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do those. So that's going to do it, I think, for my stream today, just because we're kind of feeling a little slow, and I like to have people to talk to, so I think it's a good time just to wrap it up, and we'll plan for another big day tomorrow of drawing and having a good time together. Hope that you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. And I will be seeing y'all tomorrow. I think that's about it. Head over to my YouTube. Go check out a couple of videos to keep yourself busy. Leave a comment, any questions, hit the like button, subscribe over on YouTube. All that's a big help to me. I love you guys. God bless you, and I'll see you next time here on Draw2MuchLIVE. You take care.